All right, let's talk about lawns. If you've ever stared at your yard and just felt, well, a little lost, you are absolutely in the right place. We are going to break down the simple science behind getting that amazing looking lawn. Think of this as your new playbook for success, so let's dive in.
I mean, let's be honest. That's the dream, isn't it? That lush green carpet of grass that just makes your whole house look better. It might feel like it's totally out of reach, but I promise you, it is so much more achievable than you think once you get the basics down.
And this is exactly what we're talking about. You've got the before on the left, the patchy spots, the weeds, all that frustrating stuff. But on the right, that's the goal. That's where we're headed. And the gap between those two pictures, it's not magic, it's just knowledge. So here's how we're going to get there. First, we'll cover the foundation, then planning for success. After that, the 3 things you got to do over and over. And finally, we'll wrap it up with a game plan for the whole year. Simple. First up, let's talk about your lawn's foundation. Because a great lawn really isn't about luck, it's about science. You have to know what you're working with before you can expect anything to grow well. Okay, the most fundamental thing to know right at the start is your climate. Seriously, you cannot fight geography on this one. The kind of grass that's going to thrive in your yard is pretty much decided by where you live. And it all boils down to 2 big categories: cool season and warm season grasses. This chart breaks it down perfectly. Over on the left, you've got your northern regions. That's where cool season grasses like Kentucky bluegrass are happiest. They love the mild temperatures in spring and fall. Then on the right, you've got the southern climates, perfect for warm season grasses like Bermuda that just soak up that summer heat. Figuring out which side of the map you're on is your first big win.
So you know your grass type. That's awesome. But we've got to go deeper, and I mean that literally. Because the single most important part of your lawn is the part you can't even see, the soil. It's like the engine room for everything happening up top.
And please, don't just guess what your soil needs. Test it. It sounds all scientific, but look how easy it is. You just collect some samples, mix them together, and test. You can grab a home kit or send it to a local lab. This one step is the difference between just throwing random stuff on your lawn and actually giving it exactly what it's craving. It takes all the guesswork out of the equation. All right, let's move on to section 2, planting for success. This is where we get our hands dirty and turn that patch of dirt into an actual, thriving lawn. Whether you're starting from scratch or just filling in some spots, these 6 steps are your blueprint. Now, pay extra attention to step number 5. You've got to get good seed to soil contact. The seeds can't just be sitting on top of the ground. They need to be lightly raked in. After that, it's all about gentle, consistent watering to wake them up. And now for what might be the hardest part. You have to be patient. Look at this timeline. For that whole first week, all the magic is happening underground where you can't see it. But then somewhere around day 7 to 10, you'll see it, that first little green fuzz. And trust me, that is one of the best feelings. Okay, the grass is growing, so now what? Well, now we're in section 3, the core maintenance trio. This is just the simple, repeatable rhythm you need for long-term success. It all comes down to 3 things: mow, water, and feed. If you only remember one thing about mowing, please let it be this: the 1/3 rule. See, the grass blade is basically the plant's little solar panel and food factory. When you hack off more than 1/3 at once, you're basically starving it and sending it into shock. That weakens the whole plant and opens the door for weeds. So the secret is to mow a little more often, but only ever take a little bit off the top. It's the golden rule for a reason. Now let's talk about watering, because this is where so many people get it wrong. If you water just a little bit every day, you're encouraging those weak, shallow roots you see on the right. They're fragile. But look at the left. When you water deeply but less often, you're forcing those roots to grow down deep to find water, and that builds a tough, resilient lawn that can actually handle the summer heat. And finally, feeding. You know those 3 numbers on a fertilizer bag? N, P, K? They're not some secret code. Just think about it this way. Nitrogen is for up. It gives you that green, leafy growth. Phosphorus is for down, building strong roots. And potassium, or K, is for all around, for the plant's overall health. Your soil test is what's going to tell you which of these numbers your lawn is really hungry for. So, the most important part is when to feed it. And the rule is super simple. You feed the grass when it's hungry and growing. Like we saw before, for cool season grasses, the biggest meal of the year is in the fall. For warm season grasses, it's in the summer. You're just giving it fuel right when it needs it the most. Okay, we're at our final section. This is where we put all the pieces together into a year-round game plan. We're going to shift from just doing tasks to really thinking strategically, season by season.
This chart right here, this is your entire year on one page. Every season has one main mission. In spring, your job is to prevent weeds before they even think about starting. Summer is all about survival. Mow high, water deep, and manage that heat stress. Fall is go time. It's the most important time to build those strong roots for the next year. And winter, that's your off-season, where you get your gear ready to do it all again.
So let's just wrap this all up. Know your grass and know your soil. Mow high, always follow that 1/3 rule. Water deep, not every day. Feed your lawn when it's actually growing. And maybe the most important thing of all, be consistent. Little, regular efforts will always beat one big, heroic attempt. So there you have it. That's the playbook from the dirt all the way up. You now have everything you need to know to create a lawn that you can actually be proud of. The only question left is, what's your first move gonna be? Maybe you'll go outside and just figure out what kind of grass you have, or maybe you'll order that soil test right now. Whatever it is, the journey starts with that one simple step. You got this.